if you're posting content, you have to really focus on those first few 5 seconds. She threw something off of a waterfall, and now you're just sitting there and you're watching the video, you're waiting for it to drop, and then boom, they just hit you with a hook. So then you just basically like, you help push this person's video, because you just sat there and you watched this video for like the first 5 seconds expecting something, and then boom, they're right in front of you. What is your content about? How are you gonna hook this audience in? How are you gonna hook the viewers in? Like, always pick a portion of your content that has a lot of valuable information. When they like or they engage with that content, now when they sign in on Instagram is now suggesting our content to them. They join the algorithm we're in by liking our videos. So now when they sign in on Instagram, they could wake up at 4 a.m. They're gonna see a video we probably posted 3 days ago. You don't even know who's watching your stuff. You don't know how far it could go. That's why I tell people, like, really focus on making quality content. If somebody liked your video, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna show them another one of your videos. They're there to hook you in. So anytime you sign in, oh, you liked this post before, well, I'm gonna show you another one of their posts.
All right, guys, so welcome back to another episode of Motion and Success. And listen, today, we got another guest. No, I'm joking. But actually, we're going to be having our own podcast today. And this is the podcast that you need to listen to, because this is the podcast that actually grown our page from start to finish. Literally millions of followers. I mean, not millions of followers yet, but millions of views all across the internet, you know, from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all kinds of social media platforms. We're going to be breaking down exactly the content strategy that I was able to follow, so that way we was able to grow over 16,000 followers in less than how many months? Like
probably like
7-8 months.
Yeah, 6 months, 6-7 months. Yeah,
6-7 months. All right, but scratch that. If you have 0 followers and you want to get to your first 10K, this is the episode for you. Listen, Ayo is the guy that is in charge of this entire platform. Like, he understands this content strategy from a T, like growing a page from scratch. He's gonna be breaking that down. So Ayo, just tell him what you're gonna be talking about, bro.
Yeah, so Cody, everything Cody said is completely accurate. So I'm Ayo. We started this page like back in August. So, you know, over that time, you know, we accumulated like 16,000 followers to date. And also like basically 10K on TikTok, and across all 3 platforms, probably over about 5 million views. So we've been growing really, really crazy. Like, and one of the reasons why I emphasize like, yo, we're growing crazy is because the time it took us with consistency, 6 to 7 months of consistency. Y'all guys gonna hear me mention that a lot during this podcast. So, like Cody said, this interview, this podcast is for anyone, you know, you're looking to really take your business to the next level, with organic content. You know, a lot of us, you know, we have different niches. Some people are in real estate, some people are in credit. Whatever your niche is, you have an audience that you got to feed. So I'm going to be giving you guys the insights, tips, you know, finding out what works best for you and what works best for your platform and your audience. So yeah, just get ready to take notes, and this is going to be a really good one.
Yeah. I think we could probably start off the conversation like I would say like that 0 to 10K phase. You know what I mean? Like, we could probably start off right there for sure.
Yeah, 0 to 10K. Like back when we started in August, it was like, you know, it's so easy to get discouraged. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, yeah, we did like 150 interviews in Atlanta. We were sitting on tons of content, but a lot of times it's like a threshold that you like. How long can you last without seeing like real growth? Like, we were at like 100 followers for like the first probably
that's
like
funny.
a month, like a while. Like, we were getting views, but the page wasn't growing. So, you know, it's so easy to get discouraged. You're like, damn, like, should I continue this? Like, I'm not really getting any feedback. You know, I'm not really seeing no growth. And every time you sign in, you're looking at, yo, I'm still at 100. So first part is consistency. Like, for how we got from 0 to 10K was consistency. Like, post that first piece of content, post the second one, and then just kind of post at least every day for like 3-4 months straight. That's what we did. We posted for like 3-4 months straight. And, you know, we got up to like 500, probably like month 4.
Yeah.
So it was really slow starting off. But you really have to pass that threshold of like, man, I'm not even gonna look at the score. I'm not gonna scoreboard watch. I'm just gonna post content, good content, and I'm gonna take feedback from every post that I post. So if this one didn't do good, what did I do wrong? Was it like a bad hook? Was like, was the quality off? Was it not clear enough? Like
Hmm.
take feedback from your videos. So then your first video is basically, all right, that's like a rough draft. But your 20th video, all right, that's decent.
Yeah.
50th, you got way better. And now you're gonna see your audience just sticking around and they're waiting for the next piece of content.
Right, 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 right. Okay. So now, like, people might say, oh, listen, y'all had, because we even had an episode where we were talking about invest fast, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like, some people might be like, oh, yeah, I got to be in a situation where I got to go to an
Hmm.
event. I have to fly here. I got to go there. I got to do this. I got to do that. But, like, what's your suggestions? Like, in our case, I'll be honest, we did kind of have an upper benefit,
Yeah.
but not too much of an upper benefit because, I mean, it was not intentional,
Yeah.
you know? But now it's like, all right, cool. Like, what about the person that they didn't have the opportunity to go out and do 100 plus videos? And mind you, he didn't really have the energy like that. But after like 50, it's like, nah, bro, I'm gassed.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that's a fact, bro. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you,
It
bro.
takes a
Like,
lot.
even prior to us starting the podcast, I was always trying to explore like my personality and kind of see what type of content works for me. Because like I always been a person like I wasn't the camera type of person, but I always just wanted to explore different type of contents that was for me. So even before the podcast, like I went out, I did some street interviews, you know, did a couple of those, and like it was good, but I was like, yo, like it takes a while to get comfortable, especially if you're talking to strangers. So, you know, if you're a person and you're kind of confused as to what what type of content would work for you, you have to explore your personality. Like,
Hmm.
if you're a person like, all right, cool, like you can sit and you could talk to yourself, um, you could articulate your speech really well, you'll probably do really good on camera. You're not camera shy, you're not running away from the lights. You could hold a conversation by yourself on your phone by holding your phone in selfie mode and just going off. It works for some people, but it might not work for you.
Hmm.
So, but if you're a person like, all right, let's say like you don't really like posting yourself, you're camera shy, you might not want to be in the camera, you might not want people to really see your face, then you can basically, what you could do is you could do something like this. You could sit down, have a friend of yours, interview you and talk to you about different topics. And, you could basically use that and you're still providing your audience with content. And even if that doesn't work, what you could also do, you could basically, in a way, you could post B-roll, like you could post B-roll of yourself at work and then do a voiceover.
Hmm.
So it's plenty of ways that you could sit and really get content. So that's why I tell people it's no excuse. Just post the first one. If you realize like, hey, I don't really think, being in front of the cameras for me, try a voiceover. Try all these different methods.
Even you, I think you even forgot to mention with the memes too. Like, remember when we was
Oh
talking,
yeah.
like even like with, for example, like Justin LeBoy. If you go on his page, his entire page is full of Twitter memes. You
Twitter
know what I
memes.
mean?
Yeah.
Same thing with Alex Hormozy, and those things go
Go
viral a
viral.
lot of times. Spiritual word, they have a lot of voice. I mean, little memes where they type in captions, like, because you got to also remember, like, people like those kind of content where they will share it out sometimes
Yeah.
if it's motivational, if they like that kind of stuff. So like there's many ways to post
It's it,
content. It's not
it's
just turn the camera on and talk, you
Bro,
know?
you're 100% right. It's so many ways to really post content. People love memes, especially if you're on Instagram, TikTok. But I would say like, this is the most important part of your video. And I'm gonna tell you how it is. So we all consume content, but how long do we like when we're scrolling through our Instagram feed, how long do we stay on the video before we scroll past? It's probably less than 5 seconds. So if you're posting content and you're wondering how people are going to receive it, you have to really focus on those first few 5 seconds, like critically. Like a lot of people do this in different ways. Like you said, some people could post memes. Like, all right, you got this viral piece of content of this lady, like, she threw something off of a waterfall, and now you're just sitting there and you're watching the video, you're waiting for it to drop, and then boom, they just hit you with a hook. So then you just basically like you help push this person's video because you just sat there and you watched this video for like the first 5 seconds expecting something, and then boom, they're right in front of you. So some people use that method. Some people they throw in a text caption. Like some people could write a caption so good that when you read it, like I caught myself doing this one time, I think on Facebook, like, and then it was just a meaningless point. Like it was a meaningless post. Somebody they wrote a caption or whatever, like wait for it. And I sat there and I watched the video for like a minute straight and nothing happened. So I was like, damn, like they caught me with that. So some people are really good at writing the captions. Some people are good at hitting you with the memes in the front in the beginning or like some crazy adventurous type of video, and then you're basically hooked on it. So
Inside this community, we're going to be breaking down a lot of different strategies like credit repair strategies, business funding strategies, and also
content. A lot of you guys are struggling on social media to reach a lot of people. Like a lot of you guys got a great business idea, but nobody knows you. Well, guess what? I'm going to be breaking down exact strategies, how I was able to reach over 1.5 million people on social media organically. I'll be breaking that down, but it's only for people in the community. I'm not posting any of this information online. Nothing.
Nothing. And also, what you're going to get inside this community is 3 to 4 live calls every single week. We're going to be talking about business funding, credit repair strategies, content strategies, and also we're going to have 6, 7, or even 8-figure entrepreneurs coming in every single month, at least one time, to give you guys that information. Just to get an entrepreneur like that or a business owner like that inside the room, they charge $20, $30, $40, $50,000 for their time. So just by being around in the community, you'll be able to get that kind of stuff. Also, we're going to be giving away some free value, $1,100 worth of free stuff, credit repair courses, ebooks, like everything that you need to be successful. We're going to give it to you inside this community.
find out how you could hook your audience in. Like that's the main thing. Like really find out how you could hook your audience in. Like especially like even right now, a lot of people they talking about Diddy. You've seen people hitting you with the Diddy. Like the video isn't even about Diddy, but they'll hit you with the Diddy video. Like did Diddy do it or something? And then boom, they just hitting you with their business content. So there's plenty of ways you could really do it. Experiment with all of them.
So here's the real question now. Do you have to do TikTok dances to go viral?
Yeah. Nah, that's so funny. Nah, bro. I'm thinking about it. Like the TikTok dances is cool and they do well on TikTok, but it's like you do not have to sit in the front of a camera and do the latest viral dance. I'm telling y'all, like you don't have to. But if that's your type of thing, if you like to dance and you got another art outside of dancing, but you're using that to like, all right, cool. You wanna grow your audience. You wanna you wanna dance in front of a camera, and you're getting feedback and it's doing well. Then I think that you probably be you might come across the opportunity of like, hey, somebody might, especially if it's going really like viral, like 10,000, 50,000 views. Somebody might actually hit you up and say, hey, would you like to dance for me? Or like people will see your talent. So if you're a dancer, like, hey, that's all do the TikTok dances, and post them on social media. And you could also you could get feedback from that. Like, all right, this video, I could have improved on this or that. So that's the thing about content. It's for everyone. It's not just, it's not just like, yo, hey, you're an entrepreneur. If you're a dancer, post your content too. You can make a business out of that. So yeah, I mean, it's up to them.
There's no one way to
It's
create
no
content.
one, yeah, it's no one way to create content.
Yeah, that's so true because now, like, for example, with us, we even got like our first million video. I mean, one video like with 1,000,000+ views on it. Like, we weren't dancing, we weren't doing the shaking and whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. We weren't talking about anything controversial. Not so much. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of, but there is a formula behind, viral videos.
Yeah.
You definitely gonna break that down for sure. But like more of the story, you don't have to sit there and do like
Don't.
TikTok dances. And a lot of times I see when people start creating content, like I think that where they kind of get it wrong is people they would do like just photo shoots, just pictures or whatever. And
Yeah,
then, I mean, content is content, but like also you want to remember like engaging content. You want to talk about
exactly.
things that people like and also want to share,
Yeah.
So like that type of stuff,
I'm glad you said engaging content because we're in the business of keeping our audience entertained, but we're not trying to step out that boundary of destroying our reputation as a brand. So
Hmm.
some contents, it like you can almost guarantee like it'll go viral, like, if you post it, but you're basically putting your brand reputation on the line,
Yeah,
just for some views.
that's true.
So I advise like some people like, don't do that. Like, because yeah, you got this one video that did good, but guess what? Now your business looks like a joke. Like nobody's gonna take you seriously. They're gonna be like, he posted this, or like, I completely don't agree with this. I feel like, this is a waste of time. Then you getting unfollowed, and then like, it's really tough to have an audience, you know, lose interest in your business. But if you sit there and you post like all of these things that has nothing to do with your business, like you're really messing your brand reputation up, like really bad.
What's the formula for $1 million video? I mean, $1 million, a million view video. Like, what's the formula for like that? Like, growing on. All right, let me take a step back. What's the formula to going on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like whatever social media platform? Because we follow TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, basically. Like, what's the formula you would say to grow on each channel, basically overall?
Yeah, good question, bro. So I would say like basically like with me, I could automatically like go on somebody's page and I'll see why this person is getting a lot of views, and I'll see why they're not. So let's say if you're on Instagram and you want to post you posting a video and it's about your business, but you got it horizontal, like
Meaning,
meaning like your video is this way, not this way. So like
so like
vertical.
you got all the black stuff at the
Yeah, so
top and
you
the
got yeah.
bottom.
So I don't know if it's y'all, but if it's me, like I'm scrolling past that video like immediately. I'm not watching it because it's just gonna look to me like, yo, this person didn't take the time or the energy to really put this thing vertical. And then it's like you're on the wrong platform. So now you have to you gotta think about that. So that's one. Make sure your video's in the right format. So I would say growing on Instagram is consistency. Growing on all of these platforms is consistency, but Instagram, like I said, make sure you got the right format. People's attention spans are really short. Like I'm telling you, people are scrolling past these videos in a millisecond. Like once you open your mouth and your voice sounds, yeah, scroll. If your video's not in the right format, scroll. And then it's like then you start to wonder like why is my views down? Why is my videos like not doing too good? It's the format, it's the time, the quality of the video. So you also gotta you gotta consider all of those things. But the most important thing is like, what is your content about? Like,
Hmm.
you know, like I said, I mentioned the first 5 seconds, but what is your content about? Like, how are you gonna hook this audience in? How are you gonna hook the viewers in? Like, always pick a portion of your content that has a lot of valuable information. Like, and try to put it in the beginning as much as you can. Sometimes it's tough because it throws this whole story off. Like you wanna put that good part in the beginning, but you wanna walk them through a story. So sometimes you gotta focus on that text hook, or like how you're gonna hook them in so they say it and they watch for the story, and then that good part comes up and they're like, damn, I'm glad I watched this video all the way to the end. So focus on, the format, the content, the value in the video. Like you have to really take notes of all of those things across all platforms. With YouTube Shorts, it's the same thing. Like make sure your video is in the right format. Vertical. They're like if it's a short, you could basically do the same thing for all three platforms. Like some of them might do better on another one on one, and then some might do better on the other one. But the main thing is like make sure you just got quality content. Like quality content. Like you don't want to have to post on Instagram like, yo, hey, or posting reels like asking for support. You want to make sure your video, your content is quality enough that strangers will like it. Like you don't want to be getting those petty likes from family members. Like, damn, they support my, But no, you just want to have content that strangers could resonate with, and that it will teach the audience something. Like, that's the main thing.
One thing funny that you say that, one thing that we learned while we were growing, I mean, while we were doing these interviews is, and this is when I think when we met Lenny Green that time, when we would start off the interview and be like, I have a question.
Oh
Like
yeah,
people would start off a video and they'd be like, all right, cool. So I'm here with,
yeah,
all right, cool. So I have a question now.
yeah.
So that's so much time that
So
you're
much
taking up.
time.
And then even check this out now. People be like, "Hi, my name is Cody Brown at Clover LLC, and here's my candles," or whatever the case may
Bro, I would
be.
have scrolled already,
Like
bro.
you tell your name, you tell where you from, you tell your business name,
Yeah,
everything like that, and then you still you get into the content. I'm like, yo, bro, like I don't care about your name.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
and nor do other people. They don't care about
They
your
don't
name
care,
either.
bro.
So like the hook, the story, the value, and then the offer at the end. Whatever the
Exactly.
content might be. So I think that's the one of the strategy that definitely helped us win for
Bro,
sure.
that's a dude. That's 100%. Like during those interviews that we did, we took that feedback. We learned and we got better. With every video, like we started cutting out that portion out, and we started seeing the views go up. Once we basically started talking about what's in the video when the person jumps straight into the detail. Like if you're talking about credit, I give the plays to run that credit play. Stuff that the viewers could literally just as soon as they watch your video, yeah, he's about to drop some gems, And they're ready to take their notes, they're ready to save the video, they're ready to forward it out. You want to have that video that people are really, really gonna engage with. That's the point of engagement. Like you want people to engage with your content. So like let's say if you're like if you're like in the real estate business, because every business needs content. Like I don't care what field you're in, you need content because it's like if you're not utilizing social media, like I don't know if you're living under a rock. I don't, it's like you're really behind, and it's something that you got to start as soon as possible. So, and a lot of times, a lot of you guys, your competition isn't even better than you. They're just posting more content than you.
True.
That's just the main thing. So if you're like in real estate, you want to have you like with short content, you want to walk your audience like you want to show them deals like you want to make it short, like you don't want to show them a whole vlog, but you could use that for YouTube, but that's another platform. But on Instagram, you could just say, hey, you could show them a house, you could show them the process of building the house, like under a minute or a minute and a half videos. So you could show your audience that, you could show them how the deal went wrong. Like people want to see those type of things. Like people want to see that type of content so they can learn from it. And like I said, they can engage with it, save, share, forward. And then that video just does really well. And then now people will follow you and they'll want more videos like that. So you just got to figure out like, yo, what works for you type of thing.
Right, right, right. And cause now, like even when you say that, cause now like when you post your own, like, and it's great that you stay in your own lane and you post your kind of content, because like even with us, like our followers on the Motion and Success page, like they're interested in
Yeah.
financial literacy. They're interested in things like real estate, entrepreneurship, credit, things like that. Because now, if you come to our page, you're gonna see, all right, cool, like this is who we are, and this
Yeah.
is the kind of conversations we talk about, like every single time. It's not, deviating,
Yeah.
to controversial topics or whatever
Yeah.
the case. I mean, it's good or whatever the case may be, but also like your people are following you for you. They're following you because
Hmm.
you're in the real estate industry. Or they might be like, all right, cool. I'm not interested right now in buying a real estate property, but I might be interested in the next few
Exactly.
months. I might be interested in the next year. I'm getting my credit ready. So you're the person that's, top of mind. So like you said, like that's
Exactly.
really good. Like, because now a lot of times is some people are not better than you at what you do, but they're great marketers. They can
Yep.
talk very well. They're
Really
they're
good.
they're hitting the content like this every
Every
single
single
day.
day.
Like they're always posting. They're always on top of their game. So like, say for example, like if you're a business owner, because like what's like, how can a person, because with me personally, what I would do is I would come sit down in the studio and I will, just record probably like
Hmm.
50, 60 videos. Like, what would be your best bet as far as like suggesting somebody, to knock out, some videos so that way they have some content, what's some ways to get content
Yeah.
ideas to post, because some people will be like, all right, cool. I know we got to post every day or post every other day. But I don't know where to start, like I don't know what to talk about. Like what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. Because a lot of people do have that creator's block where they don't know what to shoot content on. But thankfully, like we're in a century where it's like it's you got AI, you got the internet, so you can use tools like I would say you can use OpenAI, Chat GPT. You basically could tell you could just type in the chat, um, give me a list of topics on real estate. Give me a list of topics on credit, and it'll give you a whole list of literally topics you could cover. You know, so if you want, you could literally knock out short videos on all of those topics. And if you want, you could ask it, can you give me more topics or more questions on that niche? And it'll give you more. You could just knock out those videos. So that's an easy way. Another way would just be like, if you see a viral piece of credit content, and you might not agree with it, but it went viral, you could give your take on it. You could respond back to the author. Like, if you don't agree with what he said, like, nah, you could remix the video and respond back and give your take. So it's plenty of ways that you could really like, you know, knock out content, especially for your business. Like, just don't be afraid to just, share your thoughts, or really just put yourself out there and let the audience know what you're talking about.
And I think another thing too is like even when you start, like just starting is the first thing because like most times this you will even get the feedback in the comment section,
Yeah.
like for us, like I mean, like some people be chewing us up like,
Yeah,
yo, why you
yeah,
got this dude on the pod or whatever the case may
yeah. Yep.
be. So like they would tell you like, all right, cool, like I want to hear more about this. All right, cool. This guy talked about this, and they would DM us, and they would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like I spoke to my accountant, I spoke to my attorney, I spoke to whoever," and then they would be like, "I just need some more topic, like more information," and that's your way to start
That's your
building
way.
up a lot of content.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like just like that, just posting,
Yeah,
like you start to get the
you start
feedback
to
and
get
you
the
get the
feedback
hang
from the
of it,
audience. Yeah.
So like I think like the biggest takeaway from that, like when it start with content, because we didn't know what the hell we was doing when we started.
We
We
didn't
ain't know
know. We ain't
nothing.
know.
But we figured it out because it's like, all right, cool. We see what this person is doing. And I would say like the best bet also would be like, look at your other, competitors and
Yeah,
just study how they post because
exactly.
what's working for them more than likely is gonna
It's
work
gonna
for you
work for you.
too.
Yeah.
So we're just like, all right, cool. These are the kind of controversial questions, and we will just list out, some of the
Yeah.
topics that we have in mind where people like to engage in the comments. And most times is you'll get the feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, feedback is super important, especially posting content, because then you start to see what works, what doesn't work. You start to see what people are engaging with. So always look at the stats, look at your insights, look at your watch time, look at the amount of saves, the shares. Cause a lot of times you could post a video and like people wouldn't like to get people to like your video, some people they're not gonna like it, but then you look at the share button, you're like, whoa, what? Like they're sending this out, they're sharing it, they're saving it. But you just you want to take feedback. You want to take feedback from all of those things. But with like, let's say like, all right, you knock out, like, let's say if you're a business owner and you want to get shorts for yourself. I would say start recording yourself probably for like 30 minutes and have a conversation like you're on a podcast, but you're literally talking to your camera and just you're gonna say some stuff that are really good and you can cut it out. So you start to just snipe out clips. Like, you just start to take out clips out of the video and then, you could use that as content. So record yourself 30 minutes talking about a topic and then just cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. And you're gonna be like, damn, I don't even remember I said that. But then now when you rewind back, you could cut out that part, post it on the internet,
Yeah.
and then now it looks super organic because you just didn't know, you were just flowing. You were just flowing off. And then you're like, damn, that was really good. So you could do that. Just experiment with it all. That's the main thing, bro.
Mhm.
It's the main thing.
And even a few ideas too. Like for example, here's a few things that I was doing when I was growing with the content stuff on my personal page when it was, for credit and
Yeah.
whatnot. Some of the things that I would do is I would go to like YouTube and look at some of the trending I would go to a podcast page. Like we have a video that's going crazy right now on the credit. So
Mhm.
now what I would do is I would say, all right, cool. If this is their top viewed episode, I'm gonna use that headline that you use, and I will use that as a video or a short form video.
Yeah.
Or sometimes what I would do is I will go to the bottom of the YouTube video, and then there's like this Chrome extension called vidIQ. Inside vidIQ, it will filter out like all the comments, and like when people ask a question,
Yeah, yeah.
they're gonna leave a question mark at the end.
Uh,
So now with vidIQ, what it would do is it will go ahead and it will filter out all of the questions that people are asking on that viral video. So now some of these videos be like, how can I remove an inquiry? How do I remove a collection? How do I remove a charge off? And that's how I was just sniping up all these pieces of
mm,
content so that way I could get, stuff to post about. So like
exactly.
I would use our like a podcast like this, or even like for example, answer the public. That's another one
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah,
I think
bro.
those are great
It's
topics for
it's
sure.
it's a
Great
lot. It's a
ways.
lot of tools where you could really snipe out those clips on long form. Like a lot of times, the best way to get short form content is go long form. Like I said,
Long
30
form.
minutes. Like talk about a topic, cut it up. So now you got a YouTube video for 30 minutes, and then now you got like probably 30 shorts
Hmm.
in that one 30-minute video. So you could do that. And then, like Cody said, it's tools out there that'll make your life easier.
Yeah. So
Uh
oh my fault. Yeah.
yeah, now go ahead.
Finish your thought.
Go ahead, bro.
So now even like for example, with the 30-minute clips now, because you're real good at pulling these
Oh
clips. All
yeah.
right. So like what goes into you actually pulling out these viral clips so that way it can start, getting some traction? Like what goes into it from, clips,
Yeah.
headlines, tools that you use? Because when it comes to like all of these things, like for example, like having somebody else sit down and do it, it costs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like what's some of the ways that you actually found, to pull these clips out of these 30-minute episodes, that a person would do?
First, I gotta admit, I was the one. I was doing it manually for some time, probably like a few months. Like I'll take the video out of long form. I'll have to, I'll take it from Final Cut, cut it out. Take the
The Final
timestamp.
Cut is
Yeah, Final
is
Cut is like it's an editing software, where you could edit like videos, long, short form. You could edit any video, any type of videos on there. So I was
beginner friendly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All
It's
right,
simple.
cool.
It's simple. You got the cut blade, simple things, and you know. So I was taking stuff. I was taking videos like clips out from the long form. Like let's say we did a podcast. I was taking videos out, and then what? And then I had to use another tool on my phone. Summary is just. It was just time consuming.
Yeah.
So um, later on, I figured out it's different tools that exist. So what I started doing was if like let's say if it's a podcast like this and I really wanted to, and I really wanted to really get like a good clip, what I could do, I could use a tool called Opus. A lot of people use Opus. It's very popular now. Um you could upload your long form on Opus and it'll randomly cut it up. For me, sometimes I don't like the randomly cut up because it's all over the place. So what I'll do is I'll still manually I'll take it out. I'll take out the good timestamp of the video. I'm like, yo, this part is really good. I'll take out that part and I'll upload it to Opus. So that way it'll give you different tools where like if it's three of y'all talking or it's like four of y'all all could be inside that one angle. Like it could be y'all could all be into that one frame. So
Mm.
that's the good part about that tool because everyone could be in the frame, no matter who's talking. if you use Opus, all of y'all could be in that frame. So that's a really good tool to really use to make your life easier. Cause a lot of times, like you guys, you don't want to pay editors. You don't want to have to you want to have to spend like hours on editing videos. You want to make your life easier. So Opus is a good tool. But always start off where you can. Like I didn't start off using Opus, because Opus is a paid subscription. So I didn't start off using that. So by the time I figured it out, I was already good at editing, taking out videos myself. And then I jumped to that just to make my life easier and to cut down the time, you know?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
How about like headlines and thumbnails? Like what goes
Oh
into that?
yeah.
Because your joints it's real short and concise, and
Facts.
it's real catchy.
Facts. The headlines, like at first it was tough to come up with headlines because it was like you trying to, because the thing about the headlines is, like I said, people attention spans are short, and also people reading, they don't want to read for too long. So what are you gonna like? How are you gonna put a caption on your video where it's short, but then it's something that like, damn, I gotta watch this video to the end. So let's say if like you know, let's say if you want to talk, if you want to give credit advice, like you want to talk about different business funding websites or credit cards, you could caption it like three business credit cards that you should know about. So now it's like, damn, I'm waiting for the first, I'm waiting for the second, I'm waiting for the third.
Mhm.
So then they're stuck there, they're just watching. They're like, damn, all right, cool. And then they're watching your video. So then that'll draw them in. So then it's like, all right, I'm scrolling through, you know how you regularly scroll through your Instagram. So now as soon as you jump in the video, here are three business credit cards you should know about. And then the person pauses there. Now they scroll and stopped a little bit. They're trying to watch it, but now they're looking for the other cues. So now what are you showing? Like, are you physically showing these cards? Like you physically have these cards? Are you showing the image of these cards? Like I want to see something. And then let's say like you throw up the business credit card image or you have it in your hand. You're like, oh, okay. So at Chase Business Inc. All right, cool. And then now they're gonna wait for the next visual of the card. So you have to keep all of these things in mind. Especially if you want to really represent your business and really put it out there to your audience. So yeah, that's a good way for captions. Thumbnails is another game. See,
Is thumbnails really important though? Like
thumbnail.
off your experience, do you
So
think it's important?
with YouTube, thumbnails do matter. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie, because it's the same thing. It's like you sign in on YouTube on your laptop or like a lot of people using YouTube on your TV now. So you sign in on YouTube and you're like you're looking for videos to watch. A lot of times I catch myself skipping a video if I feel like, yo, it's boring. Like the thumbnail is kind of off. Like it's throwing me off.
Hmm.
I scroll past it. So thumbnails really do matter. Thumbnail is another type of psychology because to get people to click a YouTube video is another game. You know what I mean? But it's almost the same thing. Like you want to have something interesting. You want to have a good text and you want to have a good thumbnail. Like a really good thumbnail. Those two things matter.
Mm.
So always that you can experiment with different thumbnails, but also make sure like the main message is getting to the viewer. Like I said, credit cards. You want to put credit cards up in the thumbnail. You kind of want to exaggerate it just so people
Yeah,
could click the video.
right.
Like that's the main thing.
So like I think like for example like what makes a good video usually would be like the captions, like
Yeah.
having the words written out of what you're
Oh yeah, yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
So like for example, if I'm talking right now, you would see like words on the screen. Um Even
The
the
B rolls,
B-rolls,
yeah.
those are really
The
good.
B rolls
You
is
know, the
good.
graphics, like the little graphics that might come across the screen. Or let's say, for example, if I'm talking about Chase, you'll see like the actual Chase
Jeez,
logo
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah.
Like that's really good. And honestly and truly, like these are the things that we implement in our content strategy
Yeah.
that separates us from a lot of different, podcasts. And that's what I realized, like even me and you both, where we might go on a podcast page and they've been doing it for like 3, 4, 5 years,
Yeah.
and you only have like 2,000 followers or something like that, is because the
The
content
content, the
creation
content
doesn't look
creation part.
aesthetically good, you know?
That I'm glad you mentioned that, bro, because that's the thing with me too. Like at times, like I could go on somebody's page and I'm like they're a podcast, and then I'm like, I see exactly why this page isn't growing. Like, cause I'm on your page and I want to get off. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
cause and then it comes to the part that they're not taking feedback on what's working, what's not working. Like, cool, you got a cool 5K views here, 2K views here, but you could be doing so much better if you follow these strategies. Like,
Mhm.
but some people they don't want to put the time in, they don't want to put the time in to improve the content. So when you get on these platforms, Instagram, TikTok, your quality has to be really good. And even if like you're starting off and the quality is like, financially, like just economically, like it can't be the best, you could literally just express your personality in a way that's gonna make people watch your video. So you got it. But if you're ignoring all of those things, then it's like you're wondering why you're not growing, and that's the reason why. You
So like for example, like where's some of the plays that people get it fucked up on their page basically?
know?
Like where did they go wrong?
So some people, they literally, with them, you could tell they didn't really take any time to cut out the good part of the video.
Mhm.
They'll just cut out a part that's like a minute
Just to
and
throw that
yeah, they
joint
just
up.
they just throw it up. So then it's like, now as a viewer, I feel disrespected because it's like you just sat here and you just threw up a video and it's meaningless. You know what I mean? So I don't even think I'm gonna even watch it for a second. I'm gonna just scroll past it. So a lot of people, they're just throwing up meaningless portions of videos, and their conversation could be really good, but they're not taking the time to really go out and take that good part out. So you got that part, and then you got some people, they'll just throw a video up without a caption. I mean, you can do that, but you have to be kind of, you got to be able to hook the audience in another way. So if you're not putting a caption, what are you gonna do in the first 5 seconds? Like, what are you gonna show? Like, how are you gonna hook them in? So these people are not putting no visual cues. They're not putting any captions. So I'm seeing that and I'm like, yo, what is this like? Like it's just like, damn, like you have to include some of those things in your video, or else your videos is not gonna really do well, and it's like you're losing your audience there. So you got that part, and then you also have just the page setup. Like it's no consistency. Like you go through and you see horizontal videos and you see vertical videos, and then you see, it's just, you just see all type of stuff. So all that stuff will just throw you off. So you wonder why people go on your page and they're thrown off. Just look at your content. Just look at it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I think honestly that was definitely a lot. And like a person, like if you're watching this and then you just reverse back a few minutes and you just literally list out all of those things, like for example, like the horizontal thing, like that thing was like it honestly, because I used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I will go, and there was this one time where I went to like the Brooklyn Public Library,
Yeah.
and I'm outside. And if you scroll down on my page, you'll probably see it by now. I had like a whole bunch of videos with the horizontal thing. I'm like, we throwing it up. Like, these is credit keys you need. Like, you need this
Yeah.
information. I don't need it. You do. So I'm throwing them up, throwing them up, throwing them up. And I'm
Yeah.
consistent with the bad looking content. Cause like you
Yeah.
said, they're just throwing it up.
Just throwing
I
it
will
up.
just get it out there. And it was not until I had somebody just like yourself, an
Yeah.
Instagram coach. Um, he was more in the social media side and everything like that. He's like, "Yo, you're giving good game, you're giving good
Yeah.
content, but the thing is, like the horizontal, the black stuff in between, and then the video, like you have to make it fit the
Yeah.
audience. Like you have to make it fit the platform for the audience, so that way they can actually start watching it. Like for example, even throwing in captions. A lot of times is I be scrolling down my page with the silent button off intentionally. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
intentionally off because
that part
most
too.
times I really don't want to hear it. Like I
Yeah,
will read the caption and then I will just look at it and just look, and I'll read the words as it's
yeah.
talking. Or if they're talking and their voice or something just throws me off, I will scroll past it, just like you said.
Yeah.
B-rolls. B-rolls is another
B-rolls is
thing.
another
I
thing.
like those kind of things. I like those kind of content. 'Cause I'm like, oh shit, poof. You see the confetti,
Yeah.
this,
See
that. I'm
see
like,
all
oh,
of
that
that
looks
stuff.
nice and it looks good.
Yeah.
Guess what? Double tap, save.
Yeah,
You
say,
know?
bro. That's the bro.
Double
I'm glad.
tap,
I'm glad.
save,
See, I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned all of that too, because you need those things in your videos. Like you need to have like you said. A lot of people are scrolling through these apps with no volume on. Like
intentionally.
with no, yeah. A lot of the times it's intentional. So if you're sitting here and you don't have a caption, then that means that the 40-50% of people are going to scroll past your video. So you always want to put a good caption. And then if people are listening with audio, but they don't like reading, then how are you gonna hook them in? You gotta once the video starts, you gotta hook them in. You gotta, throw the details of the video in that beginning part so they can stay. So it's all of these points that you have to include in your video to get people to watch it. Because like I said, if you have a business, you know, you want to be able to hold an audience. You want to be able to grow on social media. A lot of people, they got all of these great business ideas. They got these business plans. They have a business, but they're not good on social media. They're cheaping out on social media, which is not a good idea because you could be making so much more and you could be really making a bigger network of people. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like we got like we could talk about, just how social media impacted us.
I was
Like
just about to say that.
you don't even know who's watching your
I
videos,
was just
bro.
about to
Like
say
it's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. Cause now, like, I was just about to ask you, like, how important is like social media for like, creating content, talking about what you do on social media? Like, how can that grow a person's business? And before you answer too, like, for example, with content, like with us, like we will be screenshotting, like sometimes I always see it before I do,
Yeah.
I would see it before he do, and we're seeing celebrities, boxers, NBA players, football players, different kinds of people of high influence that's viewing our page and they're double tapping,
Mm,
they're following our page because they see the kind of content. But overall, let's just say, for example, if, like I'm just a regular business owner, I'm not a podcast host.
yeah.
Like, how can that grow our brand? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
cause now you're able to start doing business on social media because now you're an expert in your field,
Yeah.
you know?
It goes back to, just showing your expertise. Like find out what content form works for you. And just if you really know it works for you, like I said, find out your personality and really find out what piece of what content form works for you. Like if you're the person that you could hold a conversation by yourself in front of a camera, then like I said, post that type of content consistently and just get better with every video. And social media is a place where the algorithm, you don't know when it's gonna pick up.
You don't.
So you don't know when it's gonna pick up on your video. So you want to make sure every video is matters. Like Cody said, we had notable people liking our video. And that's why I tell you guys, every like, every engagement you get matters. Cause now it's like these people like our video. Like who do we have? We had Queen Latifah,
Hmm.
we had
Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer. We had literally like people who they hold a lot
A
of
lot
weight,
of NFL
a lot of
players.
NFL players. You have management in the NBA. Like all these people are liking our stuff. And that goes a long way because guess what? When they like or they engage with that content, now when they sign in on Instagram, Instagram is now suggesting our content to them. So now they just basically joined they joined the algorithm we're in by liking our video. So now when they sign in on Instagram, they could wake up at 4 a.m. They're gonna see a video we probably posted 3 days ago.
And that has happened.
And that, yeah, so you don't even know who's watching your stuff, and you don't know how far it could go. That's why I tell people like really focus on making quality content because when your video does well, like you just got a whole load of people that now you're in their algorithm. And Instagram is really good at catching people. That's one thing. If you really want to know, if you really want to know what somebody's up to, look at their algorithm. Like a lot of us, a lot of our algorithms, bro. Yo, their explore page will tell you a lot about them. So
That's
that's
funny.
why I tell people like you're you're like all of those likes matter. I'm telling you guys, it matters because guess what? Instagram is gonna be thrown because the Instagram and all these social media platforms, they're in the business of grabbing people's attention. So if somebody liked your video, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna show them another one of your videos.
Mm-hmm.
So they're to hook you in. So anytime you sign in, oh, you liked this post before. Well, I'm gonna show you another one of their posts. And then it's like from there on in, if you could keep feeding them with good content, you'll just keep growing. And then what Instagram will do too, another thing is they'll show you content somebody you followed like.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody you followed liked, like let's say they liked our content, they're gonna show their followers like, hey, somebody you follow like this content, you might like it too.
Right, that's true.
So then it just starts like, that's how quickly your videos could go viral. But guess what? It has to be quality videos. It has to have all of those things I mentioned, a good hook, a good caption, because if you got a few people engaging with it, then Instagram, they'll probably be like, yo, let me see if I push this video to 1,000 more people, how many people are gonna engage with it? Then the video starts to grow. And then boom, you don't know what those type of numbers could do to your business, could do to you as a content creator or whatever business that you're in. You're gonna grow insanely, and then the traffic is coming to you, and now you look like an expert in your field. So
exactly.
It's just really understanding like, yo, don't cheap out on the content. Take the points that I just mentioned and just go with it.
Right. And also, like, it's like you say, like something you said, like that was so true. Because at one point, remember, like when I had stopped following almost everyone on my page, like, and then I slowly started following people back, it would be like, all right, cool. Like, I don't have anybody to follow, which means that my news feed, my explore page should be blank.
Yeah.
So guess what? I start double tapping and I start seeing certain pieces of content.
Yeah.
And now guess what? Instagram is starting to show this on my page a little bit more. Now say for example, I'm a celebrity and I like Motion and Success page. Now guess what? The fact that one celebrity liked Motion and Success is going to show it to other celebrities that's around in their ecosystem. Because now it's like, all right, cool. You follow this person, so more than likely you might like this piece of content, and it will say that word for word in very fine prints, like right below the video, suggested post because a friend of a friend likes this kind of content, so more than likely you would too.
Well, that's a fact. That's why I tell people every like, that's why even me on social media, I don't just be handing out likes because I'm not even gonna lie, I messed up my algorithm back when I was young. Like I had an algorithm where I'm not even gonna lie, I had the Instagram models, like all of them were just in my explore page. I messed up my algorithm bad by just sending.
My joint's still messed up, bro.
by just sending that double tap, I've messed up my entire algorithm. Now when I sign in, I could wake up 2-3 a.m. I sign in, it's just all Instagram models. I had to fix that. So now I'm cautious with the likes I hand out. So I'm telling y'all, don't just go around.
That's funny.
Double tapping. You feel me? Like
it's
any
true,
of these
though.
videos, especially if you don't know these people, it'll mess up your algorithm and then it'll keep you hooked on the wrong things. Like now you're signing on Instagram. Now you don't see real estate content. You don't see credit content. Instagram gonna be like, oh, you like these type of shorties. You like these type of models. All right, I'm gonna keep feeding you. You like seeing her walk away. All right. So you just messed up your whole algorithm, yo. Like I'm telling y'all, like you really gotta be cautious. Don't just be handing out likes. Like, all right, cool. You find her attractive, just scroll past.
Yeah, she look good.
Yeah,
just scroll past.
Just scroll past.
Yeah.
Like, don't mess up your algorithm, because like I said, a like goes a long way. And now you seeing how fast. Now it's showing to your followers you just liked her pic. She was twerking or whatever. Now, you know what I mean? Like you'll mess up your whole algorithm, and then your followers will see. So
right.
Definitely.
So now that even goes back into like things like branding as well too. You know, like now you're building yourself a brand at this point. Like for example, like how important is brand, reputation for Motion and Success and creating content and things like that? Like,
yeah, bro, it's everything. It's a good thing you said that because we could rewind back. How many times we had people hit us up like, yo, I want to get on the podcast.
A lot.
We asked them what they do, and it has nothing to do with, the agenda or the niche that we're in, the topics we talk about.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it's like, even that, like, sometimes we didn't have a lot of followers. Sometimes it's like, yo, you know what? This will be like, we just trying to have like certain guests on. And yeah, the person was, they had a decent amount of followers, but you just have to say no. You got to protect your brand, because at the end of the day, if you show one bit of inconsistency with your viewers, it's like you're throwing them off. So now because of that one person you took on your podcast, you're throwing off like 10,000 people, because then it's like, wait, what? Like, he's talking about he used to dance at clubs and like, what? Like, nah, like,
Yeah.
nobody's interested in that. So we sometimes, we had to turn those things away, so you have to protect your brand. Like,
Right. Even like, for example, a brand reputation for us, like, it's so key and it's so important, because if you look behind the screen, what do you see? You see motion and
facts.
success. If you look at some of our videos, you'll see a watermark on the video, because guess what? Ayo understands the formula of some of these videos. All right, cool. Like, I believe this video is definitely gonna take heat. Like, it's
Mhm.
gonna go crazy. So now people might not remember, they might not know you, they might not know your exact face, they might know your voice though, they might know the logo, they might know, the kind of conversations that you talk about, they might even know the background. Like, for example, like, literally just earlier we were speaking to Josh, and he was like, yo, somebody sent him a video,
Mhm.
and they understand that the background that it's in, that they know that it was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, brand reputation goes way deeper than anything.
It
So
does.
it's like, all right, cool. When you're creating content, you also want to build up your brand in a way so that way it actually stands out and people know, all right, cool. Like, they might not know your face. Like, a lot of people don't know who Cody and
Yeah.
Ayo is still to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I
Facts.
mean? Like, our thing is kind of like a faceless thing, but it's still growing to a part where we're slowly,
Yeah.
throwing our face in the camera. We're talking a lot, or we might just throw in the watermark, and
Yeah.
that goes
That's
into brand
yeah.
reputation.
Good thing you said the watermark, because I can't even lie. So many times you had to remind me to throw
Yeah.
it in. And I'm glad that I took the advice, because sometimes I'd be forgetting to just like throw the watermark in. But we had a video, and the video did like 1 million, and we threw the watermark in. And like, I'm glad. I'm still saying, I'm like, yo, I'm glad that I threw the watermark in, because that video went crazy.
Right.
And then guess what? We had people. I had people that they saw the video and they were following on the Facebook page. We don't really post on Facebook as often, but they're now going to the Facebook page, because now all they're seeing is motion, motion, motion. And we were able to gain like 10,000 viewers
A
and
lot.
like 300 plus subscribers, like just all that. So your branding really matters. You want to put your brand out there, your face out there. So all those
Right.
things are important, bro.
Yeah, I think, like, honestly and true, like, when it comes to branding, like, it's so important, like, because now it can actually, like, your thing can speak for itself, especially when you're not there. It's like, all right, cool. We know Motion and Success talks about financial literacy. They always bring in good guests. They always
Yeah.
bring in good people. So now it's like, all right, cool. We're more reputable. So it's great to start, like, when you're starting off creating content. The thing is, it's great to start branding yourself. All right, cool. I'm the guy that talks about credit. I'm the guy that talks about, real estate. I'm the guy that talks about construction, whatever
Mhm.
the case may be.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, but it's always great to talk about, like, your one thing, or if you like to wear a special hat or a special t-shirt, do that as
Mhm.
well. It's great for marketing.
That's
So
the thing. You want to brand yourself. You want to stay. You want to stick to. You want to stick to that niche. You want to be known for. If you're a credit, if you're in the credit space, you want to be known for credit. If you're in the real estate, you want to be known for real estate. Just to provide your audience with some form of consistency, so that way, anytime they see your videos, it's like, yo, he's gonna talk about real estate. He's gonna give some game on credit. So they'll know, like, that's the thing. You have to give your audience consistency. That's one of the main things, like consistency. And you have to be consistent with your content. Like, if you're not posting as often, people will forget about you easily. Like, you have to post consistency. So in your business plan, you also have to include something for content. Like you
I
have
think
to.
that's important as well.
It's important, bro. You have to post like as much as you could create the most elaborate business plan, like getting marketing. You're gonna be paying for ads, but you also need social media content. You have to keep your audience engaged, or if you don't have an audience, you have to grow one, and that takes an insane amount of consistency, like crazy consistency. And you don't want to go ahead just paying for ads, and you're paying for ads on those trash videos that we just told you not to post. So now you're paying for ads on horizontal videos, and you're wondering why the bread not coming in. Like, so you want to start first by posting content on your regular page,
Right.
and then you're like, damn, yo, this video doing bad. Like, let me switch it vertically. Let me see how it. Then you realize like, oh, now people tapping in, people watching it. I finally got one like. So you got to take feedback, and then you figure out what works, and what doesn't.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Or even one or two topics last. So even for example, with like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of
Oh
that stuff.
yeah.
Like, talk a little bit more about that, like the hosting platforms, or
Oh yeah.
the
So
actual like, because people think podcast is only videos. Like,
yeah,
for
this
example,
video.
like there's also an untapped side when it comes to audio. Like the exact podcast, the
Yeah.
actual app, Spotify, the actual app.
Yeah.
Like talk about that part as well too.
Yeah. So you got to get on these podcasts, especially the audio side is really important as well. But like I said, most of the things comes from like, your short form and your long form, and then it'll lead them to your audio. So some people who don't like, yeah, I ain't really watching all that. I ain't watching the video. Let me go drive home to the audio podcast. But they're coming from your video podcast. That's why I tell people like really have good short form videos, long form videos out there. So that way it could lead your audience into other directions. So then now they found your podcast page is linked to it. So now they're listening to your audio on a drive home. But like you could use different platforms, to throw up audio podcasts on. We use Red Circle. Red Circle literally with a click of a button, it'll distribute it out to Apple, Spotify, all the audio platforms. So then that way your brand is now on all of these platforms for audio podcasts. So audio podcast is also important because it's an audience out there for that.
And you know what's crazy too? Like, even when you just mentioned this, and I heard this the other day, like, and it's just like a recap of what we even said a little bit earlier too. Like, there's so many ways to create content, bro. Like,
So many
a
ways.
podcast listener is a podcast listener.
Mm-hmm.
I asked my nephew when we
It's
was
the
coming
same
here,
thing.
what's your thing? TikTok and Instagram. So you don't watch podcasts? No.
Yeah, no.
You don't watch YouTube? No. TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
So a person that watches TikTok and Instagram watches TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
Same thing for YouTube. A person that watches YouTube videos watches YouTube videos. So you might not be the person where you like to, do the visual thing, but you can create content on the audio side too.
Exactly.
So now it's just only voice. You know what I mean? Like there's radio talk shows, there's people that talks on the radio, and you would never know who these people are.
Facts.
Like, you just remember their voice. You remember how it, how it sounds, how, the person, like, for example, like Lenny Green, he has a very, unique voice. Angela Yee, she has a very unique voice. So it's like when it comes to creating content, there's so many different ways.
Exactly.
You can even do the podcast audio side. Now you tapping into a different set of audience that only listens to audio information, so it's like you get the best of both worlds, and you really can pick and choose how you want to produce your content. Like, and that's why I say it's like, it's not really too complicated. Just find what works best for you.
Exactly.
And then start slowly, gradually start increasing it, because now you can do a 15-minute podcast episode, and it doesn't have to be long, and everything can just be audio. Like, I remember when I first started off in the credit space, I was listening to a guy named Daniel Rosen. His episodes would be like 15 minutes long. Sometimes he would have a guest on, and there was time where I'll be driving and I'm just listening to his audio platform. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So it's like people that listen to podcasts, so you can find your actual audience and grow your business on, whichever type of way you like to grow your,
yeah, that's a fact.
produce content.
It's always some people like it's people that's on the go. They don't got time to just sit and watch a whole YouTube video. Some people are at the gym, they working out. Oh, I want to listen to some good. I want to listen to a good podcast.
Hmm.
So now you gave your audience that option. Like, oh yeah, they're also on Apple. They're also on Apple Podcasts. They're also on Spotify. Let me not listen to music today. Let me listen to their podcast. So you want to give your audience that option as well. So then that way you're on the audio side. You know what I mean? So like it's so many options that you got. That's why I tell people like it's no reason why you should not be posting content. It's like if you're not posting content at this point, it's like you're living under a rock.
Hmm.
So yeah, just post your first video and then just like I said, consistency. Be consistent. Don't let the first one discourage you. Post out at least 100 or like at least 50 minimum and take feedback from all of those 50 and see what's working. And if it's not, and if they didn't do too well, you got to fix something. You have to really fix something. You got to see what's going on. Like, why aren't these videos doing good? Don't just quit after 10 videos. Consistency.
Mm, right. I honestly, bro, I think like this is probably a podcast I would have liked to listen to when I first started.
Facts.
Especially like, because and I think this is like kind of like an important podcast because like when I first started it, like with the credit space, like I was just on, posting Instagram reels. Like I would find like, a place, I would come to the studio and I would sit down and I would record. And that's how I built my business, by,
Mm,
I started growing trust. People want to start, doing business with me. I started doing business with other people, and it started, creating that credibility
yeah.
as well, because now it's like, all right, cool. At the end of the day, like they're looking at you. It's kind of like a portfolio, like, and it's sad to say that it's a portfolio because it's just content and anybody can talk. But it's like, all right, cool. Now you have a whole catalog. All right, cool. This guy's been consistent for a very long time. You know, I started off just going to the library. I'll pick up my phone, put it on a tripod, and I'll just record.
Mm.
It looked bad looking back now, but now
Yeah.
it's like, all right, cool. I got it out. I
That's it.
gradually increase to now, from, in a corner in the room, then gradually increased to the library, and then I went to a studio. So like sometimes people used to be like, how do you record? I'm like, yo, listen, like this thing costs, like you gotta spend money on a studio. And I was doing 4 hours minimum just for
Mm.
a studio, a content day. I would
Jeez.
come, sit down, have about 4 or 5 different outfits, change every 10 videos, and just create content like that, So like
Mm.
I think this kind of content, like this kind of podcast, would definitely be something that is very beneficial if you're just starting out right now, because like sometimes you really don't have to overcomplicate it. And I look back now and I'm like, damn, like you don't have to get the
Mhm.
professional setup. You don't have to get, all of the nice studio time and, the
Yeah.
producer, everything. Like I started creating content again using my phone. We
Mhm.
have very good, iPhones with really
Yeah.
great cameras, and you can sit there and just have a whole content day in a part in your house, or you can go to a cafe. You can go somewhere that looks good. The lighting is good. Your phone, you got a tripod. You can sit down and create content.
Yeah, bro. It's not that
It's
hard.
not
It's
that
not that
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
And you could literally like Cody said, you could start from your phone and a tripod and a decent lighting and just go off and
Yeah.
just go and post. It might not be the best, but you'll get better and you start to realize that, all right, I think it's time for me to upgrade this camera. I think it's time for me to get better lighting. Once you get that audience and you start to and you like I ain't even doing this for me anymore. I'm doing this for my business and for my audience. I want them to hear me better on another level. I want them to see me better on another level.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times is you could basically like sometimes we have to pause the scrolling and we have to actually see like, why did I sit here and watch this video for a minute? You could sit and you could be like, damn, that person was like they hooked me in really good. That's what that's how some of the things, that's how I learned some of the strategies that I mentioned here because sometimes I rewind the video, I'm like, yo, wait, what did this person do to hook me in? And I'm like, oh, I see what they did. And it's really good. So then you start to just kind of see those things and you could copy it. Social media is public. You could sit here and you could copy what the next person did, you know, and try it for yourself. It might not work because you might not have that unique personality, but try it, you know, and if not, try something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fact, bro.
Mm.
Anything else you think that a person might know, like want to know, like, because we start from zero,
Yeah,
bro.
we
Like
start. We
we
really
start
started
from
from
zero.
zero.
Anything else
We
you think a
started from
person might
zero.
need? Like, 'cause I think you done gave them like
Yeah.
almost everything that a person would need. You got the Opus tools, you got the the captions, you got the the ways to go out and create the content. So like at this point, like you have everything that you need
Exactly.
to go out and start growing. I think one thing that you probably didn't mention, I think that might be a question people will ask a lot is, do you have to post every single day,
Every single day, I would say
or it's a drag?
every single day, I would say like it depends on your schedule. Like you got to figure out, you know, when you could post. But I would say starting off, try to go for at least 5 days a week, minimum to 7. You know, so that way, like you're just pushing out, like you're putting content out there, and then like you're getting feedback immediately. Like you'll by like a week ends, you'll be like, all right, this don't work. Let me try this. So the more consistent, the more consistent that you post early on, the more you'll get feedback and you'll kind of see what works, what doesn't work, and then you could adjust, quickly. You could quickly adjust. But later on, you don't really have to post every day. I would say like, right now what we're doing, we're posting like a day or every other
At
day.
least 4 days.
Yeah, at least 4 days, And then, it depends on your schedule, but I would say early on, try every day. Like if you can, try every day, but don't just go throwing up anything. Like don't just go throwing up a random clip. Like, you know what I mean? Like really, really like post something that you'd be like your audience could learn from. Like post something like that. But other than that, me and Cody, we do have a community going on where we'll be dropping even more game on content and as well as credit. If y'all don't know how powerful having credit is and then having content, like that's another game of leverage that people gotta learn. Cause if you can master both of them, like you'll be super successful, like crazy. So we have a community going on. I'm gonna drop the link in the bio.
Yeah.
In there we'll be doing like Zoom calls bi-weekly on credit and content. So if you are interested in learning how to take your content to the next level organically, or you're struggling with certain aspects of content, this is probably an opportunity for you to ask me a question. If you have trouble with credit, you could ask Cody a question. So this is the opportunity where you could really like sit and learn from us behind the scenes and really throw in your questions and get feedback immediately.
Absolutely, because like especially like with all the information we done dropped and continuously dropping, it's like, all right, cool. Like it's great and it's kind of, like I'm still trying to piece everything up kind of thing. Most
Yeah.
times people try to piece everything up, when it comes to creating content, when it comes to, cleaning your credit up. And this is exactly why we went ahead and created this community. And inside this community, we're talking about content creation, we're talking about credit tips, hacks, strategies to repair your credit, and also business funding advice. There's days where we're also gonna have, 6, 7, or even 8-figure entrepreneurs coming inside the community, just sharing information on how they was able to grow their business. There's also times where we're even having Q&A sessions. So if you want a deeper dive in how we do things as far as like, content creation, how we're building out our Motion and Success brand, how we're building out our own Instagram, our own offers, and our own thing, this is exactly where you can find us inside the community. Literally less than 75 cents a day to go ahead and start learning how to, grow your business, how to grow your content, how to get business funding and things like that. And now if you really think about it and you combine the three together, credit is always a big necessity when it comes to, growing business overall. Business funding, a lot of times businesses are failing because they don't have the funds that they can actually use to actually grow their business. Content creation is a huge thing because now you don't necessarily have to, go out and, do newspaper ads anymore. You don't have to go, door knocking anymore. Like content creation is a thing where once you understand how to start creating content, your ideal client or your ideal person is on the other side of the screen. You
Mhm.
have to just create the content. And once you get good at it, you can even start posting ads and you target your direct client on the other end of the screen. And now you're able to start growing your business. So now I think these three things together, you can actually start building a powerful credit business, not credit business, a powerful business overall. So inside this community, that's where we're gonna be breaking down for sure.
Yep, yep, yep. But this is a great conversation, yo. Like honestly, this is one that I'm telling you, if you haven't even posted your first piece of content, this will motivate you to post that first one because it's not as hard as you would think. Just like I said, find out what works for you. So like I said, you guys, y'all can like, comment, and subscribe. Really dope convo. You can follow the page, Motion and Success. You can follow my personal page, IYODEJI. And like I said, to really, really get close to us and really share your pain points or in areas that you're struggling, whether it's content or credit, I would say the best bet is to join the community. So that way we could really take you on this journey of creating motion and success so
For
you can
yourself.
create your own for
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
There you go. Motion and Success, y'all. So this is another episode of Motion and Success. This was literally content creation, the ins and outs, exactly how we was able to grow our page, get access, not access, get our content in front of millions of people across the internet and showing them exactly how you can go out and get some motion and success.
Thanks.
I am Cody. We are going to end out this podcast episode. My guy Ayo broke it down, went
Yeah.
crazy. So listen, play back this episode, like, comment, share, and we're going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Facts. Peace, yeah.